water, and I'm like, oh no. And then I see just the sky, and I'm like, oh no. It'll be next time. Take care of this. We'll see.
Before we go any farther, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in.
Yep.
This is the cabin of Speaking Sporadically.
We're starting, guys.
Ready?
We're ready. We're going.
Action.
Timer's on.
8 seconds.
We're going.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are so glad to have us all here today again. We've been doing pretty good with that in the past couple episodes, getting all the hosts on. Definitely glad to have you guys back for episode 64. We had a whole stack. Time to bring it back to the chest, and let's get this beast started. Come on.
How you been, Sherm?
Dude, I've been great, bro.
We spent all weekend together. Why'd you ask? You should have asked Isaiah and Trey that.
But you saw how I've been.
Have I asked you in a while how you been, though? I haven't.
Not many people ask me
How you
I've
been, Luke?
You know, I'm fine.
Chilling?
Chilling. It was a long day.
The funny part is someone will ask you how you've been, bro. Anything longer than a sentence of reply, there's like, nope.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. This was a formality.
This is a gesture.
Small talk.
Exactly.
Keep it short.
Short and sweet. That's right.
How you two couch boys doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Vibing, bro.
Haven't seen you guys in a while.
It's been.
Yeah, I haven't seen you since last weekend. I don't know if I saw Trey last weekend.
No, I saw you on Thursday.
Oh, I saw you Thursday, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
man.
I saw y'all Thursday.
Yeah.
Y'all Thursday.
Mhm.
So,
I saw y'all today
Devin, where are you
before
here?
this.
Where are you here?
Different place.
Different.
It's a different
It's a
mindset.
different mindset.
It's a mindset.
anyways, the camera looks a little bit different. You are using a different camera lens right now. My sister needed the other camera lens. She has state 4-H photography on Tuesday, I think, this week. So
Shouts out. Good luck.
She has
Very
Yeah.
important.
it's 4-H photography. I think it's state, or it might be one of the local ones.
So it's like a competition.
It should be for
Really?
Shelby County only, because our county's fair is next week. So
Oh yeah. So yeah, probably for Shelby County.
it's for our county this week, and then state after that
Yeah,
if she
so
makes
hopefully
it that
she
far.
qualifies.
Hopefully,
Really?
She has
I
the
thought the
past.
state fair was this past week.
I don't think so. No,
Probably
it's
not.
usually not till like mid-August at least,
What was this week?
maybe late August.
She's qualified the past 5 years, so
It's
hopefully
she's
not
been
gonna
doing it for
lie,
that
it's
long?
not too hard
Yeah.
to qualify, but
Hey, how much
Photography.
voltage does an automobile?
But she's
battery
won
usually
4 out of the
supply?
5 times too.
see,
So.
that's what I'm saying.
It's quick.
Well, anyway, so you heard me and Devin and Luke. Obviously, I guess we all kind of mentioned that we were together this weekend. It's because we had one of our most favorite weekends of the year. I mean, we definitely have talked about it in the past,
It's
but
not even every year.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
every other year.
really. I mean, scarcity brings things value.
That's
That's
right.
definitely the truth for this.
I would agree.
And so we went to West Virginia over
Fayetteville, West Virginia.
Fayetteville, West Virginia, where the New River Gorge is running right through that beautiful town. So there's a lot of rafting companies and a lot of tourism in it and everything. And I mean, that's where us three went over the weekend. We had a great weekend. I mean, I had a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Other than my driving aspect, I had a good time.
Yeah.
How far of a drive was it?
It's about 5 hours one way.
But
Well,
there was a little
We had a little.
about
Kink in the
5,
road.
Luke.
I had about 8 on Friday, and I had 5 hours today to get back.
That's
You go the wrong way.
No,
No,
no, that's a good story. Want to start it off?
the right way.
I went the right way. I was there.
Before we get into whole rafting and everything,
Yeah.
we definitely got to explain the drive.
What happened on Friday? So we all meet up at town. We met at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. in town.
10:05
go
for some
fast?
people.
Hey, yeah, really.
We didn't leave. We said we were leaving at 10:30. We were out the gates by 10:15, so we were still 15 minutes early in my book.
The plan was definitely 10.
To meet at 10,
I wanted to
leave by
meet at
10:30.
10.
Devin is chronically late. He was late to this as well.
All right,
by
this is different. This is different. This is different. When I was about to leave, I got a call to pick up a trash bag from my house.
You were
I'm like,
about to
all
leave
right.
at 8:05. We
You
said
better
we'd be
leave
here at
late.
8.
I can look up what time I actually called you.
Still, my delay was
Yeah.
still
still would've been
still
late.
prolonged.
You were late regardless.
Plus, I was trying to work on
You were
photos
late
from
regardless.
this
Yeah, I
trip.
called you at 8:05.
And I will say, we walked up here, no rain.
Yes.
Yeah, all
You
four of us
walked
got
up here,
Rain.
torrential downpour.
at the same
And I had to
time.
carry the mics and get that all set up. Got to get the computer. Give me some slack, all right?
All right.
We
It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
You sat in the car all day.
Took a
You
nap.
slept until 10.
You slept until probably 10.
No. I was up
Were you out of bed before we left?
No.
Yeah, I heard you guys leave, bro.
Yeah, but
I
you're
got
still
woke up
laying in
every
bed.
You were
few
still
minutes.
laying in bed when I got in my car.
Okay. What's the point? What you guys trying to do here?
What made the day so hard, bud?
This is a long day. About 2 when I got home.
I'm pretty sure it's still 24 hours. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's long, bro.
I guess. But anyways, Luke. So
Whatever.
we're leaving by 10:15, making good time. We're cruising.
Moving. We're cruising.
I'm in Luke's vehicle for like the setup. There's another vehicle with us, and then Devin's in the vehicle with his father that his dad's driving, right? So we're making good time. We had all planned to meet in Rio Grande. Rio Grande.
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande. I mean, it has an E on
There's a
it.
McDonald's there. There's a gas station. I think it's a pretty good spot.
It's like
South
in
of Texas.
No,
whoa.
it's in southern Ohio.
Southeast
like,
Ohio.
Right before the border.
Right.
Yeah.
They have a university.
Yeah, because Alan went there.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all planned to meet there. And we like sit there for a little bit, and no one else,
And we
no
were
one else
ahead.
stops.
I was the lead car, and don't get me wrong. I think I lost them in the first 20 minutes of the drive. So we were cruising, but I was like, we got a plan. Everyone knows where we're going. I'm pretty sure. Not everyone knew where we were going.
Let's get my side of the story. Before we leave, Luke's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna stop in Rio Grande." He's like, "All right. I'll text you guys like the ETA of estimated time when we were gonna get there." And I'm like, "All right, that's cool. I can do that." We're sitting there driving. I'm like, we're approaching Rio Grande. I'm like, I have no clue what the plan is. Luke said he might wanted to stop there, but I had no clue where. And neither did my dad. We have no clue. We passed it because maybe they just kept going. We never got a text or anything. Then we get a text, "Yo, where are you guys at?" And I'm like, bro,
Gosh, dang.
No,
if you guys stopped and just assumed that we would telepathically,
bro,
sense you
I
guys
shared
were
my
there.
ETA. From
No, you
Google.
didn't. Not-
yes,
not for
to
Rio
your
Grande.
phone.
Not
Yes,
for Rio Grande.
Yes, I did. I shared my
I think
ETA
it
to your
was
phone.
It was to the lookout. I'm pretty sure.
I will look up our text, bro.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm pretty sure it was to the lookout.
I know I
Which is
shared.
kind of our
I know
destination.
I shared an ETA with you.
Yeah.
Not about that stop in Rio Grande.
I thought I did.
The only text any of us got was I got from Sherm, said, "Where you guys at?"
Yeah, 'cause Sherm was doing all my texting because I was driving.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's not the biggest deal.
I was
I'm
wondering why
saying,
Jake
look,
wasn't saying much.
that's not the biggest deal.
So-
So we had another driver too. It was my car, their car, and then
It's not a
another
huge
car.
deal.
This is
though.
where it gets funny though, because so we sat at this gas station.
I think it was 20 minutes.
You think my timer's still running?
Bro, did you never turn it off?
I may have never turned it
That
off.
would have been really
I
funny.
set a timer for when they got to the gas station. Oh no, I stopped.
Okay.
That. Anyways, it gets to like 25 minutes. And we're like, we gotta leave because this is when
We
we
gotta
realized
get
they drove
going.
past. So Luke's like, I'm in catch-up mode. I'm playing catch-up now. So he's buzzing down the interstate, just cruising.
We're cruising.
But-
I'm in my fun time now.
Then in our mind, we're like, oh, we just passed them. We probably want to think we want to meet up again so we can all drive together as one. So we'll go to a gas station. It was a Sheetz right off the path. I think it was right after you turn on.
Right off
35.
35.
At this
And, like,
Sheetz, everything turned to Sheetz.
And like, yeah, we'll stop and we'll sit there and we'll wait for him. So we sat there, and then that's when I get a call from, I think it was you, or maybe
Yeah,
it was
I
a text saying, "Hey, we're actually not going to stop at all. We're just going to keep on going through." So we weren't meeting up. I'm like, all right, I guess that's fine. But still, our cars, I guess they wanted to get out and stretch, and while we're there, they can get some stuff and whatnot. Whatever. Should I just keep rolling? You guys got anything to add?
I was pretty much it because I was still I was driving at that point.
Yeah.
They
So-
said
I was
they weren't going to stop
driving
anymore.
mode.
It's all
Which is
from
why
it's
we
from your
stopped.
perspective.
Because
now.
even like the other car that wasn't either of our cars, like he was gone. Like he never stopped.
yeah.
He just kept going. Oh no, he stopped for you with
Yeah,
you
he was
guys.
with us.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Well, we blew past
Yeah.
because
So we blew past the Sheets they're sitting at, and then
We're sitting there. We turn the car off. Whatever. Go inside. We get snacks, drinks.
your
Well, I
dad,
didn't really-
people
we
gas up.
Yeah, we didn't even gas up. 'Cause
You
we
didn't
need
fill-
to.
Oh.
That's the thing. That's because so it's mildly your guys' fault. Not really. Let me explain. If you guys would have sent that call earlier, like, yo, we're actually not gonna be able. We're gonna keep driving. We were gonna do the same because we were like 2/3 gas full. We could have easily made it there without stopping. And my dad is huge on a no stop guy. He will go 9 hours if he doesn't have to stop. Like, we're going all the way through.
I respect it.
He-
I
he
respect
will
it.
haul.
dude, he mentioned that this morning when we were leaving. He's like, make sure you got your empty bottles.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yo,
he-
if we have to stop, we're gonna stop. Like it's 5 minutes.
He doesn't like stopping. He'd rather just coast all the way through. And
Fair
I'm,
enough.
I'm kind of like that. So we weren't going to stop if you guys weren't going to meet up with us because we kind of thought we were going to meet up or whatever. But that's fine because we would have found out one way or another.
Yeah.
So we got there. Everyone gets their things. We head back to the cars to leave from the Sheets, right? And we have a remote start car. and we press the button, and all we hear is click, just like a. And he does it a few times. My dad's like, "Oh, that's not good."
Starter out.
And we keep trying. We're like, "All right, what could it be?" First of all, it's a remote start, so it already gets tricky.
Well, keyless. That's keyless start.
yeah, sorry.
So
It's
you got
push
like
button.
the fob,
Push
and then you have a
push.
button.
It is remote start too. We tried
Oh,
that,
I don't have that.
but so we're sitting there
Well, no.
trying to push it, and we just keep getting clicked. We tried remote start. So then my dad's thinking, well, sometimes these keys are finicky, and like it doesn't sense if the key is in range, or like there was also this one time where the car computer thinks that it's on, even though it's not, so it won't like restart the engine or whatever.
Right.
So we're going. We keep trying stuff. We try to reset it. We take the I don't know what you call it, the prongs or whatever off the battery to basically reset the computer to lose the charge to everything. We let it sit off like 15 minutes, put it back on, keep trying it. Not in the other car there, we sit there. And again, this is where we're 3.5 hours, like 4 hours
Yeah,
from
3.5.
about 3.5 from Ohio, and still like 1.5
Yeah,
From our
so-
destination.
from our
Yeah,
destination.
so you're in a bad
So
spot.
we were in the middle of nowhere, terrible spot. We're sitting there and it is not going. We got the dude next to us. We don't think it's the battery because if you push the button and like your foot isn't on the brake, which is like what it needs to start, it'll still start all the battery stuff. And all the battery stuff clicked on, all the lights, speedometers,
Yeah.
radio, air conditioning. So we're like, we're pretty sure it's not the battery. Anyway, we try to jump start it because maybe the battery is just a low enough charge where it doesn't have enough to get the starter to kick on, enough to spin to get it going. And we tried jump starting it, nothing. We tried
Yeah.
everything.
Was
So we're
this
like,
this was Friday, right? When you
This was
Yeah,
Friday.
we're
Driving
going
down.
That
This is still
the
Friday
weirdest
yet.
thing. So I have at my work on Friday when you guys were going down. I drive a small little John Deere Gator around to do a few of the things. There's a few other vehicles we take, but usually I take that one. And I was getting cattails out of like a pond and stuff, and put them in the back of the Gator. And then you take the Gator, and you dump everything. About halfway through that, endeavor, which sucked in itself, I'm with another guy, and we go to turn the Gator on. Now this thing's had problems before. You turn the key 4 or 5 times, and then it starts. You got to give a little juice and stuff like that. Finally, it just stopped. On Friday, it stopped, like just barely before lunch. We figured that we raised the bed a little bit. We look in it, everything was clicking. We turn it. You turn the key halfway, all the lights and everything turn on, so the battery's good and everything like that. It was a starter. You know what we did? We just took like screwdrivers and hammers and rocks and just slapped the starter every time
Yeah.
we needed to turn it on. And
tap it.
It just turned right
that's
back
the
on.
common trick too. That's what we
Yeah.
also looked at. We probably it's a starter, and the common thing is you have to tap the starter.
Yeah.
Could not find the starter to save the life for us. So
Well,
my
a car is
dad-
way harder than a Gator.
Yeah.
A Gator,
Yeah.
everything's nice and open. It's underneath
Yeah.
the whole bed.
So my dad was looking up YouTube videos
Right.
and diagrams on Google, looking up where the starter is, and that thing is absolutely buried.
It's in the middle.
By far the worst spot. Like you'd have to drop like the alternator, the bottom cover, the like the fuel, like a whole bunch of stuff to get to
It'd
it.
probably be easier to get if you had a lift.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the video my dad watched, like he had to drop out like 2 parts, and then the dude's like, "Just reach your hand up in there and feel it. You'll feel a B10 bolt." And my dad's like, "Bro, how am I supposed to feel a bolt and know that's a starter?ter?" So that
You
was
know that
basically
one?
a lost cause.
Very B10.
That one right there? That's it.
But
That's
then-
it.
I
So, like-
know that bolt.
Hey, yo, what's that Gatorade bottle doing by all the nice Arnold Palms?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm working on it.
What? what does that
Still have
even?
one from last
What does that
week.
even mean?
I'm drinking.
Oh! I'm sorry.
It's still
I'm sorry.
full.
No, you can put it back. I didn't understand you.
But
My fault. Continue.
So me and Luke are absolutely zipping. I think we hit into the mountains at this point.
Well, yeah, we're cruising
I've been
through
kind
like
of texting Devin in the
the
last
big, nice, windy, like
Oh,
very
yeah.
typical West Virginia roads,
and
carved
service
into the
was getting
mountain.
pretty bad, pretty spotty.
Spotty.
And I'm kind of texting Devin, but I'm only getting like a snap area for like 15 minutes. So he said they said they stopped. Then I open up the next snaps and it's like we're having engine problems, and I'm like, oh no.
No,
And
like,
then, like by the time I got the address, we were like 45 minutes away in the mountains.
no, we were almost there by
Yeah,
the time we
were
got
almost
an
there. So we were
address.
probably over like an hour and 15 away.
Oh,
And then we were like, yeah,
We're just gonna go because they talked about getting a rental car. I was like, all right, well, we'll go see the lookout, and you guys just call us whenever you guys made a decision on what's on the up and up.
So we keep trying, but don't get something. So then we start going into our options. Well, we can't get a tow back to where we live because that's 3.5 hours, and like no one will do that. And if they do, it costs a
be
fortune.
insanely.
We called every insurance usually has like a hotline to see what they can do. Again, all they do is tow, so that didn't help. So we started walking around like, all right, maybe we can get it fixed and get a rental or whatever. Because mind you, there are 14 guys going on this trip, and we had 3 5-seater cars. So we had 3 cars, and they were all like packed full.
Right.
Gear plus people, like it was all full. So we needed like every vehicle. So we're sitting there thinking, all right, maybe we'll try to call a bunch of mechanic shops. So we called mechanic shop after mechanic shop that led us to another. Probably, like me and my dad probably made, I'd say
like
close
you
to
guys-
30 calls.
I was gonna say it sounded like you guys made a crap ton of calls.
Crap ton of calls different places. Nobody would work on the weekend. Nobody in West Virginia wants to work on the weekend. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
they
no.
all shut down at 4. They're like, yeah, 4 o'clock and we're done till Monday.
They
And
ain't
he's
no
like,
Ohio.
And he's like, we can maybe get you in Monday or we can get you in 2 weeks. I'm like, that's not going to work.
2 weeks.
we
Yeah,
have
that doesn't help.
Yeah, a
at
couple
all.
places
yeah.
said 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, nah,
We-
ain't gonna work.
we have this trip is for this weekend. Like, we drive down Friday, boat Saturday, come back Sunday. It's like we need it before then. So we're like thinking, all right, maybe we can do something. I don't know. But then we're thinking, all right, let's think short term. Let's get a rental car. Call up a few rental places. One's booked, another one's booked, or whatever. Blah blah. We go through like probably the 5th one. We get to an enterprise that isn't too far away. We call them up and like, yeah, we got our car for you. I'm like, all right. Could we return it tomorrow? And like basically just drive us down. Because for whitewater rafting, once you get to the resort, you're good. Because they take it from the resort to where you put in. So we just needed to get there till Sunday. Like, all right, maybe we can drive down to the resort. And then my dad and like either Luke or the other driver would drive him back to drop it off and then come back, whatever. They'll do something. They called it and like, yeah, you can return it tomorrow. We're like, oh, okay, cool. So like we booked one. It'd be like $190 or whatever, 150. It's not terrible.
No.
We're sitting there putting away. And then like 15 minutes later, while we're working on other options, thinking ideas, they call back like, yeah, actually, no one is in tomorrow. You're going to have to return it on Monday, and it's going to be like $450. And we're like,
You ain't no way.
no, we're not spending $450 just to drive some kids at the resort. Just,
Yeah.
no.
And then again, that didn't even solve. Like, it solved the short-term problem getting the kids to the resort, but then it wasn't going to get anybody back to Ohio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you still need the car and the people back to Ohio. So we're sitting there thinking through options. Our best option we had was to call. And again, this wasn't like even planned at the time. Okay, I guess, well, first we decided, all right, just for now, because the biggest thing me and my dad worry about was let's get the kids rafting because they've never been. A lot of first times, like they got a raft. That's the biggest thing. It's what we paid for. So we're like, Luke, we think you're going to have to drop off the kids and then come back, pick up the rest of us, and then bring them back up to the resort.
And luckily, one of the kids in his car was me.
So Jacob was supervising.
Yeah, so I was the adult that got left with
Our
the
unofficial adult here.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
he's official. He's just not.
He's just not on the charter.
Yeah.
Well, he's not an assistant scoutmaster.
I'm
but
not
he's
an
still
assistant
an adult leader.
scoutmaster, but I was still
An
a
adult
He's
leader.
still
adult
trained.
leader or an
Yeah.
adult
Apparently.
supervisor there. Yeah, I got all my Boy Scout child protection certifications done. So
waited till like
Official.
10 before we showed up at the resort. We're like, yo, can we check in early? Like, we got to make some driving happen yet today. Go get some people. And then she's like, yeah, let me get you checked in. She's like, well, here's the gift card you guys asked for. This is kind of important because this is funny and it kind of made me mad. Because we had one person cancel on his last minute. So there's like 125 bucks on this card. We were going to use it for video, photos, whatever. Yada. Somewhere we'll spend it at the resort. I take it, and I drop these guys off the cabin after I throw all of our crap out. I'm like, here. He's like, yo, can we get some food? I'm like, thinking, oh, may as well just go get like a few snacks or something, because we'll get food later, like good food. And
I see Jacob grinning already.
exactly. I'm like, may as well just spend like $20, get a few bags of chips, maybe a couple sandwiches or something light, because we're gonna get pizza later.
Yeah.
That's what we usually do. And apparently, when I get on the road,
Well, so then they chop us all.
Eat ribs, bro.
What a great
We're sitting
adult
in the
leader.
cabin. I'm like, so like you guys haven't been? I'll show you around a little bit. And they're like, yeah, we're kind of hungry. I'm like, oh, I got this $125 gift card.
Might
It's
as well
pretty
use
nice.
it.
They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, what's any good places to eat? I'm like, Smokies. Oh, most
expensive
5-star restaurant. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Oh,
Oh, what do they got on the menu? Full rack of ribs, 32. We can split a full rack. Yeah, let's get a full rack of ribs. So we got ourselves a full rack of ribs. Which in oversight, like if we did get sandwiches and chips, it probably would have been like $20, $25, and we got the rack of ribs 32. So it's like a little bit more. But yeah, we definitely ate good.
During this time, I was driving an hour and a half back north, about 15, 20 miles north of Charleston. And then Charleston was a solid hour, at least, from where it was. Another 15, an hour and a half one way to get these guys. And then I was going back another hour and a half while they were grubbing down on some
Ribs.
ribs.
Yeah, so when I said I got off on the golden side of the whole situation,
You hit every single lucky dime
Yeah.
this entire weekend.
it was phenomenal.
Well, this whole time we were sitting at the gas station outside working on the car or whatever.
And then
And then-
when did Mark's car like leave you guys? How long was he there with
He
you?
left about the same time I started heading their way.
Okay.
Once we decided, like, all right, might as well, Mark, you can take these boys and go, because we'll just, I guess, sit here and wait with whoever we can. So we were sitting under this tree for some shade, right? I'm like, all right, we'll take some shade. And the sprinklers kick on. We're like, so we move off. We're sitting on a curb. Me and my dad are still trying. The other guys went, and they're sitting inside the gas station. So we're sitting here, and yeah, I guess that's really it, bro.
And all the time I'm chowing down some ribs on this like nice outlook, like
Fine dining.
over this giant gorge. Like imagine just a giant gorge, beautiful tree
Big.
chops, like
Looking at a big bridge.
$1 million view. I'm sitting on like the ledge on this patio. I'm like, God, this is
Well,
life.
I'm in bumper to bumper traffic in downtown Charleston.
And he's sitting there on a curb waiting for a ride.
Yeah. So
What was wrong with the car?
started in
It
order.
was a start.
Well,
It's just a starter?
hold on. This story gets better that you guys don't even know, actually.
even know yet.
Oh, I forgot
I haven't
about
heard
this.
anything about.
We'll
Oh,
talk about
man.
rafting in the second part of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay
So-
tuned for the second part for rafting because that might be. Well, that was definitely crazier than this.
All right, we got
We
9 minutes.
9 minutes
Perfect
to
time.
talk about this.
So we're sitting here. Luke's come back, pisses all up. We're there. We left our car there at the Sheets, and we're like, right now our plan is like, okay, we may have to call a family friend to drive down here with a truck and trailer to pick the car up, and then we all hop in and drive back.
Yeah.
And that was our kind of plan. So we're sitting at this resort. We go through the weekend, blah, 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 whatever. Sunday comes, and we do have, he's my uncle. He has a truck, and my other uncle, he's using my other uncle's trailer, but all good, whatever. He hooks it up, and he starts driving down that morning. So, like, he probably left at, like, yeah.
Like 5 a.m.
Yeah, I think it was like 6 a.m., so we got here at like 11 or whatever. So we got to the resort we were at by 11, because we didn't have a car to get from the resort to the Sheets where our car was parked. So we had to drive to the resort to pick all of us up and all of our gear. And then we drove the other hour and a half back to the Sheets. So we get to the Sheets. So really my uncle probably caught like the worst of this. But
We
anyway.
had to drive down for the single day just to get you guys.
And then
Yeah.
drive
It's
back.
family 4 if you can't use them.
Down and back.
Yeah, down
Yeah.
and
That
back.
sucks. Don't
And
get-
listen to this. This gets better.
Oh boy.
We get to the Sheets. My dad's like, obviously we're gonna try to start it just because.
Just
No.
Hops in the car.
Did it turn right over?
First start.
No.
Yep. Starts right up, and we're sitting there like we talked on the way like I don't want it to start, but then again like we do, because my dad even the first day he said, bro, if I could just get this thing started, I know the starter's finicky. He would say he was gonna drive all the way back to Laramie where we are, get a new car, and then drive back the same night. So he would have drove like
8.5.
yeah, and he would have been willing. Like he'd have been like, yeah, that's completely fine. Like I'll just, bro, if
Yeah.
I could do that, I will. But he couldn't get it started. So we're like, nah. So we're thinking at this point, because this is where our uncle was with us. He's already drove
See, he knows.
6.5 hours
6.5 hours.
because he drove to the resort and then to the Sheets. And then we're stopping. We're like, wow, that's ridiculous. And then we're thinking, all right, well, I guess there's nothing else we can do. Might as well drive it because it's better than pulling it on a trailer.
Yeah.
But my dad's like, I'm not turning this off, so we're not taking a stop because I don't think it'll start back up. So we sit there, we drive. He follows us with the trailer just in case, and everything goes fine. We get home. So that is already ridiculous. Like, that is so dumb out of all the time. So we get home, and me and my dad have an idea. Like, you know what? I think it's some temperature. This thing. I don't think it'll start multiple. Whose is that?
That's mine, bro.
Come on, champ.
Bro, I thought it was all these were plugged in.
Chief.
They were. You might have pulled it out.
There's no point in talking to the mic if it's not plugged in, buddy.
Hey, bro, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, because we did a sound check and you heard his voice.
Yeah.
My sound check was good, bro.
Yeah. So you probably pulled.
I
it
probably
out.
pulled it out on accident. My big fat feet.
All right, hang on. I gotta finish because we're out of time.
Just finish it
So
up.
anyway, me and my dad have an idea. We think it's like either after long journeys or temperature. We don't think it'll start up. So we get there, we get home. He turns it off. Let's see if it started back up. Click. It won't start. So it was all about the temperature for some reason.
It just needed to cool off.
Yeah, I guess.
So did you try starting again like in an hour in like regular increments trying to start it?
At the first time at the sheets?
No. When you guys went back to the house today.
No, not really.
Oh, that would have been an idea. That would have been your good experiment.
Well, I mean, we kept trying it at the sheets. We tried it 4 hours later at the sheets. When we got there at 1, and we stayed there for 2 hours, and then you're 2.5 hours, and then your hour and a half drive. So
I
we were there
guess.
for like 5. And when you got there, we started at 2. So it's at that sheets probably 4 hours. And we tried it, and it didn't work.
Didn't work yet.
Really?
So I don't know how long it takes. But then we're like, that sucks because we could have prevented my uncle from having to drive down, and instead just had like Mark drop,
Take your dad back up.
and then my
today.
dad would come back and pick the rest of us up.
Yeah.
and then drive
Yep.
back home
Mhm.
or whatever.
Yep.
So
Who
sucks.
knows? But the
It's
second
dumb.
you don't have that plan, though, it wouldn't start.
yeah.
The second you don't have a plan in place,
Exactly.
it wouldn't start
Like,
anyways.
we
and
would
you'd
have no
be
clue.
in a bigger. You'd still be in West Virginia
The
almost.
other thing we talked about is almost better that they stopped, like to meet up with us, because if they did end up driving all to West Virginia,
Would have been fine.
Because it would have
sat.
started right
It
up.
would've sat.
that's true.
Most likely. Again,
Most likely.
we
There's-
had no
but there-
clue.
There
We
was
had-
always the potential that doesn't start Sunday morning, and then you're in a hurting because you have no plans made.
Yeah.
You're not going to have someone traveling from Ohio to get you until God knows when.
Because if we tell them like, "Yo, now we need a ride," they're like, "Okay,
We
it's
need
gonna be
to-
probably 5.5 hours."
5.5,
till I get
probably
there.
6.5, because you'd have to make the plan. You'd have to go get the truck, go get the
Yeah,
trailer,
that's
and
what I'm
then get going.
yeah, so you're probably going to be coming home to Laramie right now.
Maybe home by now.
Yeah.
That's assuming we realize it doesn't start at 8 a.m.
But
or
But-
7:30 even.
Other than that, it got a lot better.
Yeah.
So we'll
But-
talk about that.
hold on. The more I'm thinking about this, the more it is your guys' fault. Listen, if-
Whoa.
it's like I said earlier, we weren't going to stop if you guys weren't going to meet up with us. If we would
I
have
don't-
drove all the way to the resort and parked it there, which we had plenty of gas, stopped it,
Okay.
would have been fine. Sat there all weekend, we would have noticed. Had the whole weekend to cool down. Sunday morning, it would have started.
That does
No
make
problem.
sense.
Yeah, it would have.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
It's just a
Would've
chance
started.
and luck.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
It's all a chance and luck.
obviously none of us were able to know. But
Mhm.
if you think about it, if we didn't
Or-
stop that
or hear
first
me out.
time,
You have a long trip planned, and you don't be like, "You guys want to drive the 10-year-old Hyundai?" Yeah, I can probably make
it's
it.
not a 10-year-old, it's 14, bro.
Okay.
14 years old?
13
No,
model.
I guess-
2023 models are out, so 9.
Yeah.
9 years old.
What model is your car?
17.
So you're
5.
6 years old.
6, yeah. But I've never had an issue with my car starting.
We haven't either.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just all unfortunate how it unfolded for some people.
Especially his uncle. He
Probably
kind of
worked out
got
better
screwed
for
in
me,
that.
honestly.
yeah.
Your
we had a
uncle
great
got
trip.
real
Imagine
screwed on
him
this.
Waking up
Yeah.
super early in the morning, drive all the way down, and driving all the way to the gas station just for the car to
With
start.
a big truck and trailer, too, which is like a little
It's
more
even worse.
stressful than just like a little
Yeah,
car, you know?
just the gas wastage for it to start.
Yeah.
That's
It hurts.
yeah,
It
that
hurts a lot.
What a dog.
It hurts
though.
everyone because, like,
It isn't.
yeah, there's nothing we could do about it. That was our best
Yeah,
option
yeah.
at the time. It just
Yep.
sucks all the way around.
Yeah.
But I guess we're chill now, and that's about it.
It's back now. Your dad wants you to buy the car now. He
Yeah.
made that comment this morning,
Yeah,
too. He's
yeah.
like, see if Devin's interested in buying a Hyundai.
Nah,
Nah.
probably.
He says
gonna
he's
drive to
gonna
school,
start,
bro,
gonna
your
start
truck.
driving the truck to school.
Well, I'll still drive it to school. I'm not buying it though. I might not even have to go to school right now. Most of my classes are online, so I
Taking
have
them
to,
all
like, one
online?
day a week.
Oh,
So
nice.
But like last semester, I barely drove it really.
I guess we'll see how this pans out
So-
because your dad sounded pretty dead set on you kidding on them selling it. But
I mean, I'll give him 500. No, I don't know. I'm not gonna buy it for much if I do.
Well, we'll find out if he buys it.
Yeah.
yeah, I know this would be
Next segment.
No.
not the next
You know, I'm gonna
segment.
call my
It's not
dad
gonna
in
be
this
the decision,
segment.
bro.
This-
Yeah, it's
We
like,
will
oh,
figure
yeah.
out one.
Speaker.
I'm
It'll be the
calling
next
Chad.
Let me
segment.
take care of this. We'll see you in the next segment. Time, sir.
Go Power Ranger. No, you didn't.
All right, so
All
this
mics
is-
plugged in.
You have one more.
Yes, they're all plugged in right now.
All right.
I will not move my feet.
Mike.
You guys ready?
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Did we? We didn't.
Sorry, that was my bad. I didn't mean to
What?
yell, guys.
What?
Ow.
All right. So, Friday's in the past. That's the past.
Sunday's also in the past.
Sunday's in the past. We're talking about Saturday now.
They're probably the best day of the weekend.
You wake up on Saturday, dude, feels like Christmas morning. You're a little tired.
a little jittery.
You're a little jittery though, because
You're, like, ready.
you know it's coming, and especially for the young guys. We're telling them we've told them so many stories. They've probably heard so many stories this rafting trip, and they're all antsy, like ready to go. And it starts like we make our way up there.
We get them up bright and
We
early.
get some good breakfast. We got a
Good
nice buffet
breakfast.
for breakfast.
Those
Biscuits,
always hit.
gravy, honey, like on bacon and everything. That was a-
Good. I mean, there's waffles. I think I was the only one who got waffles, but the waffle was busting.
I mean, there's so much other
Good
I
waffles.
didn't
stuff
have
to have.
room. I would have.
Yeah.
I saw that and didn't have room.
After
I
like my
know.
10th piece of sausage, like smothered in gravy, I was like, I don't know if I can even move, let alone go rafting.
Well, we got to now.
Yeah, but
Time to
we have to
go.
go back to the cabin, chill like for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We go back to the cabin, chill for like 30 minutes. Then we're like, all right, gentlemen, it's time to go up. We get all the boys gathered up, and we start walking our way up.
And then once again, if you watch the 2 episodes ago, 62, I think
Yeah.
it was, we start the chant
Yeah.
again. I left my home.
Because it's funny because we were walking, we're like, left, 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 right, left. We do that for a couple minutes, and then Ashton's kind of in the front. He's like, I left my home.
I left my home to join the army.
To join the army.
I left my home.
Left my
Wait, who
home.
started
Join
it?
the army.
Ashton Calcutt.
Join the army. And then it's like,
Oh,
it gets
man.
dark because it's like, I left my son. I left my son.
Crying in the yard.
No, it's like playing in the yard and wife crying at the door because they knew that I would die at war. Or also,
Would
surely die.
Would
I think-
surely, it's like would surely die, then another
First
one.
verse
would die, or-
is
he has this
would
whole
surely.
thing down.
Yeah. He knows
So,
it all. He's got a
It's-
lot of family in
it's
the
so
military.
Funny, it's
but
so dark because, like, I guess I'll talk about this more later. So yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, so we get up there, and the like rafting leader, the guy who takes all the rafts out and like drives the buses and everything, he is always the
super
best-
high
yeah,
energy.
best character.
Like, there's a reason he's the guide because he's the best.
yeah, like
He's
the
so
reason
much
he's
fun.
the leader of all
Exactly.
the guys on that bus because he is.
He's been doing this for 12
Hilarious.
years. He's funny. Cracks some very dark jokes, honestly. Like things we probably shouldn't say on the pod. Like,
None of them were like too bad. Obviously, there's some that.
I mean,
were
the short bus
inappropriate.
one was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That had me
I'm
rolling.
trying to think of the one about.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of the taste of the blood one. He says, he's like, you want to be tasting river water, not blood. So watch out for the end of these paddles.
Yeah. I mean, that one wasn't too
he
bad.
made a Pink Floyd, Dale Earnhardt one because Pink Floyd's last hit as a band was The Wall, and Dale Earnhardt obviously died hitting the wall recently. So he's like, I forget how he started. It was like, what does
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt and Pink Floyd have in common? Their last big hit was The Wall. It was that funny. But the funniest one I think was we were sitting on a bus. It was a full-size bus because that's what they drive down to start. And he's like,
This is a full size bus.
this is a full-size bus. I know it's bigger than probably the ones a lot of you guys rode on. And everyone's like, oh.
And you probably wore helmets too on that too.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that one too.
Helmets for rapping.
helmets on
You guys
those
probably
too.
were- It was so funny.
Oh, that was so good.
And
There's one. He's like, how many people here are from Ohio? Like half the bus raises their hand, and he's like, that square thing, that's a speed limit. It's not a suggestion.
And then I yelled out over. I was like, "Wait, what? What was that? Is that a suggestion?"
it was so funny. And then this whole time too is like it feels, and we make it even more feel like war. Like, cause like you are going into some
Yeah.
dangerous,
like you march onto the
intense
bus,
stuff.
helmet on, life jackets suited up. Each person has their paddle in hand.
which feels like a rifle. And we've been hyping it up like when you go to get all your gear, like, all right, boys, to the gear room, gear up,
the
war
armory.
room, and to the armory as well as. So you'd sit there because you felt like you have a literally bulletproof vest. You have your helmet on, you have the strap still dangling.
You got your
You have
weapon.
you have your paddle, which literally feels like a rifle. And when you're sitting on the bus, you're sitting there like this, and it's real tight because there's
They're old buses.
They're old buses, and there's
Yeah.
so many people. They're actually packed. They're shorter people, and you have your paddle sitting in the middle. You're literally sitting like this, and like everyone's kind of nervous. So it's like, bro, this is a bus to battle. Is what it
And then
feels like.
the thing that helps it bus is helps it more is it's a stick shift bus, and these bus drivers, I mean, they just do this all the day.
I mean,
So
they're switchback drivers too.
They're insane. I mean,
They are
shifting
crazy.
gears, grinding gears, getting A to B. Then the whole time you almost have like your sergeant at the front yelling instructions, like telling you stuff about the river, like what to do, what not to do. He's screaming because all the windows down. You're going 55 down the interstate.
Well, not an interstate. You mean switchback country
Well,
roads.
for a while
for the,
you are
for the
on-
beginning.
Yeah.
You go down the
But then-
interstate until you get to your hills with like
Nah,
barely
This,
2
this.
cars wide.
and
like-
sometimes they like back it up Like
Yeah.
when we were leaving, it was on a gravel road, but like one of these where he couldn't
Yeah.
make it in one try, so he had to back up.
Oh, legit
and like the
hairpin
back of the
turn.
bus is like hanging off the cliff, and then he like puts it in drive again, and was like,
We scraped guardrails. We scraped guardrails on the
Yeah.
first turn because he couldn't make it, but an older bus, so he didn't really care. So we just
So there's green and blue paint straight down the
we're
guardrail.
like, bro.
all right.
And again, it's an old bus, so the gears weren't the best.
Yeah.
So we would sit there, womp, and then I think Luke shouted, "Grind it till you find it." And everyone started laughing.
And then we had one scout where he's like, "Yo, guys, watch this!" And so imagine his paddle sitting there.
hilarious.
You can see his paddle, and he's like, "Zoink!" and it disappears. He's like, "I just touched the ground."
Because I saw it first. He was talking to me. He's like, "Dude, there's a hole in the bus." And I look over and I just see him go, and his paddle disappears. And I go, "Sherm!" And he's like, "What?" "Look, Luke, do it again." And then we both die. It's like there's a hole in this bus where you can literally see the floor, and he just put his paddle through it. That's
all the way
so
through.
funny. So we're whipping down, dangerous. We finally get to the end. We all hop off. And another funny thing is, we probably said this before, is that we always request a female guide for the
scouts.
It's just a tradition. This fun thing we do. I
It's
don't
funny.
know.
It's
just
funny more than anything because they always like, man, I hope we get that guy who's
Dude,
like
they
the
think it's
guide
funny.
leader.
Yeah.
And they were like, I can guarantee you it's not going to be him.
But we're sitting there, take a picture, get off the bus, find our rafts.
Yeah, start
Nothing
getting
really
the
that
raft.
special.
And we just get on. You got to carry it down the big steel, like down the stairway
Yeah.
into the water. Which
What's
is
the cool thing about the stairway is there's this video of this guy like running down the stairway and then like slipping all the way off the stairway into the water on a kayak, and that got posted by Sports Center, which
Yeah.
I saw that like
It
a week
was
before.
on their intro video a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He just was like the sealed kayaks, like so they're super short, like 6 foot max, and he just rode it all the way down these stairs straight into the river and just kind of hung out, which is it's a cool video, but
Yeah. And we have a lot of videos.
old videos.
from this trip that we'll probably post on our Instagram and stuff. So check that out. Speaking_sporadically. But we're sitting there and you carry the raft down. At this point, you're locked in. You're ready to go.
Game time.
Everyone
game
hops on
time,
the
baby.
raft. And so basically, it was basically all the adults. And then
We had 2 scouts with
we had
us.
two
of the
rafts,
youngest
yeah.
scouts.
2 of the young scouts first times. The youngest one's there too. And we're like, we know who's in front. We're like, get up there, boys. And so we forced them. So they had the 2 front spots, which is probably like the most adrenaline filled one because that you take the brute of the wave.
It's like sitting in the front of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's just better.
same
Like you see
concept.
it all first.
Yeah.
It's more
You get hit
fun.
every drop of water that comes on that boat, you're getting hit by it.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. So we're sitting there. We get on the water. It's all going chill. I don't think I'm missing anything special.
We hit the
They
first
kinda teach
set.
you
I
how
mean,
to
we hit
row.
the first raft.
Yeah, they
and
have like some like warm up ones. That are
so we had
kinda chill.
pinball first. The raft name
Yeah.
is, or the whatever, the
Rapid.
whitewater raft. It's called pinball. And then there's warm ups,
Yeah.
1 and 2, and then we start getting into some more intense
Yeah.
stuff.
I think we get the. Then we get.
I have
we
the
went to our
map on
first
my
surfer
back.
One. We went here. Stand up. I'm gonna see real quick.
Does it say the actual?
Yeah, they have the
Sitting
rapids
rapid
on my
names?
back right now.
Alright, so
Oh yeah, Dudley's
Oh, you
dead.
got a
There's
tattoo
Dudley's
while he was
dip.
down there.
Bikinis.
It goes upwards. Remember?
It goes upwards. The bottom is like the end, or no, the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So this.
Do you want us to
warm-up
just go
rapids-
through them or?
just go through them all right,
Whale
real
Rock.
quick.
So Whale Rock was when it started getting serious. I think
Yeah.
after
That was
pinball.
our surfing.
Yeah, that's where we surfed first. So there's a
Oh.
pretty cool thing you can do with like whitewater rafting is like there'd be water coming over a big hill and it kind of goes down almost like a
Because of the
waterfall.
water, the way the water rolls over these rocks, it pushes down like this. But when it comes back up, it
pulls
cools
in.
back, causing the whitewater effect. It's the same thing as like a wave, pretty much, but it's more controlled. So,
So
in
if you
certain
come in from
areas,
behind you can like stick your boat in it and surf and spin in
just
it.
kind of hang out.
So we got to do that a couple. I won't
3
think we went, like,
times.
3 times. It was
3
pretty
times.
fun.
Because the guy, the like main guy loves surfing. Like he was super good at it too.
Yeah, it was.
So we did like 3 times. Hit like 1 more rapid, and then we ate lunch.
yeah.
Nothing really eventful happened
Yeah,
until after
was
lunch.
real early.
Yeah, lunch always happens like first 45
Which kind of
minutes
sucks
into the
because
trip.
most of us are still full from breakfast,
Yeah.
but you know,
But we were going, and then I saw one Dudley's dip, which
that's
I
a
remember,
funny story.
I remember that story how he told. So the governor,
The
of
governor.
West Virginia, was rafting the rapids because he's seen it.
Well,
It's, like, real
this is
popular.
when whitewater
Do
was
it.
starting getting big, like in
Yeah.
the 60s, late 60s, early
People actually
70s.
started doing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he went on and he wanted to do it himself. And right before he got to this raft called Dudley's Dip, and his last name was Dudley, he put the big
Fat
fattest-
horseshoe.
horseshoe chaw in, and he put it all in his lip. And they're going, and then they hit this massive wave that rocks him, and he swallows the whole thing by accident. And then 5 minutes later, he was yakking his
Must have
brains out.
puked his guts out for
Yeah.
2 hours after
Oh
this,
my
Yeah.
God.
which is pretty much the rest of the rafting trip.
Yeah,
The rest of the rapids all the way through.
which is why they call it Dudley's
What's the-
Dip.
Amazing.
It's really
So,
funny more than
I was
anything
going-
because that would suck.
Yeah, and also again, this whole time they have a video, they have a photo and video people out there on kayaks that go ahead of you and perch up on rocks since they're videotaping you. So the whole time I was looking out for these cameras because it's so fun if you can like see them, spot them, and like look at the camera, smile or like wave or do whatever.
Yeah.
Just so when you watch it after,
You have cool
it's just-
pictures
it's
and
just
stuff.
cool and funny.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. So this whole time I'm trying to look for it and find it. And then so I was doing a whole bunch of different poses or whatever. And then me and Sherm also started doing noggins
Yeah.
before right before we were like, so you have the raft or you have the rapid here. We weren't doing it like headbutt because that's what we do. We would do a noggin where we would headbutt.
Right.
And then we would like wait 5 seconds, go and like this was as we were dropping
Yeah.
into the biggest part of the rapid. Sherm would turn around, we would go like,
Yeah.
noggin.
I wouldn't even look at the rapid. I'd turn a whole 180. Like I'm getting blindsided by waves. I'm like, doink.
A massive crash. Like we did it at the perfect time, but they didn't catch anyone on camera.
Yeah,
I
my
don't
one
think.
complaint is the videographer sits in like the most.
Well, the
boring
thing
rapids.
is, all the good rapids you couldn't get perched up
Yeah,
on a rock
it
to take
makes
cool
sense,
videos,
right?
anyways.
Yeah.
I feel like
So-
they could have got more too. Like they only filmed this at like 2 rapids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, I think
kinda
3.
3 rapids.
The thing is, like these kayakers who are doing the videography, like they're good kayakers. Like they go for funsies, they go and do like all the hard rapids in kayaks on their own, like and do like intense crap more than what we're doing here. Like class 5, the whole thing's like class 5 and 6 rapids, which are
Like they go and do
Max.
the upper and lower gullies.
all on
the-
kayaks.
The one, our guide was friends with the guy who was in the kayak, and apparently he had done like one of the hardest ones in West Virginia. He did the meadows,
That's it. Yep.
and he said it was just. I mean, he was describing it with all these rafting terms and whatnot, like talking about it, and I mean, it sounded
From what I
terrible.
remembered, he said it was either flat or it was a waterfall. Like it wasn't like a slow rapid
Yeah.
down. It was like dropped.
He said there
or
was
straight.
spots when it was just waterfalls from like 4 spots.
Yeah.
Like almost imagine a sinkhole just
Right.
jumping in
Yeah.
with water. And he's like, yeah, and I would just like fall into that, and
Keep going.
Keep going.
On to the next one. Fall on to the next
I'm
one.
like,
That
bro.
would be scary.
Yeah.
It would, but like these guys live for it.
Oh, what was the funny thing we said on one rapid? We're like, we were quoting Forrest Gump, remember? Like, they got water coming us from the.
Yeah.
It rains down, it rains sideways.
Oh.
Sometimes it even rains straight up.
Yeah.
From underneath or whatever he says there. Oh, I forget. That was like the class 5. We're like middle of the class 5 rapid.
Yeah, I think that was in
Like
the
the
Keys
long-
or something.
One of the Keenies.
Which, you know why they call them the Keenies, right?
I forget. Remind me.
There's multiple parts, right? It's like,
No.
Because they'll rip your bikini top right off.
oh yeah.
Then, like, I was trying
Ironically
to scare
enough, it's not even spelt like bikini though.
Yeah.
It's like Keennys or something like that.
I was trying to
kinda
scare
dumb.
the kids, and I was like, kids, you know the difference between a class 6 and a class 5 rapid? Once someone survives a class 6, they call it a class 5.
And you get like that ghostly look in their face. They're like,
Yo,
kidding?
Like,
Yo?
is there class 5s in here? Like, yeah, we'll see a couple.
"We'll see some."
Yeah, but so we're going all chill, nothing major, until we get to this one rapid where
Which
it
one-
kinda
was it
came out of
Greyhound?
nowhere. No, it wasn't Greyhound.
Greyhound, we didn't do much. I think we just went over, because normally you surf Greyhound, but they said it was too
Couldn't surf
dangerous
it.
to surf. They're like, yeah, if you fall in, it'll just keep you in this loop.
If it's
of
hard to get in,
drowning
it's hard to
underwater.
get out.
Stick a paddle in. I'll grab
Just
it.
swim.
Send it.
Just swim.
Just, yeah.
Come on, it's water. Just
They're like,
So-
it'll just circulate into this undercut where you go under a rock and you can't get out. I'm like, I could get out.
I'll just move the rock.
We'll just move the rock, though.
So we're sitting there, and so we're cruising up to this rapid. And
I didn't remember this one being a bad rapid.
I didn't either.
because it wasn't. Our problem
Yeah.
is we hit a rock.
We hit it in
Yeah.
a bad
I don't know if
spot.
this guy didn't see it, or our guide turned it when he didn't mean to.
Hopefully he meant to do it because it was awesome.
It was fun.
Like, again, hopefully you want to get thrown off a few times.
Right.
'Cause that's what makes it fun. But
Swim
we were
through.
going, and then like right before we hit the rapid, we didn't.
It was like the beginning of the rapid.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it was right at the beginning.
Which
like
made it a lot worse.
yeah, we had like
You
a
gotta go
slight
through the hole.
we had a slight curve, and I saw it coming, and so did our guy because I heard
like-
him yell like, "Oh shit!" So he saw us because there was a rock, and we see the rock, and you don't float over rocks.
Yeah.
So we hit the rock and like fall
Boom.
sideways and like tilt, and so
Yeah, imagine a giant boulder, right? Like this. our raft's coming like this, but we start drifting like this.
Yeah.
I'm sitting right here. So we're leaning over the rock, and I distinctly remember looking down and seeing just 4 feet into like the next water, and I'm like, oh no! And then I see just the sky, and I'm like, oh no!
Because it's fast too. Like it's not just like a slow thing, and you like slowly fall. It feels like a nice pop, and that's like kind of.
It throws you off.
Yeah.
But I was sitting right behind Sherm on the left
Yeah,
side.
this man did me dirty.
No, you said you wanted to fall.
Okay, I probably could have stayed in, but I decided that I kind of wanted to fall. Like I kind of wanted to get tossed off. So we're dipping backwards, and I kind of let go. Terrible decision, because like most other people, the boat hits the water and you fall off. I hit the water, then the boat hit me.
But I was on the other side.
Yeah, this
and
man-
I was on the top part.
high
I was
side.
going. I was on the high side, and I just felt my foot pop loose. So I had my foot wedged in there as best as I could inside. Like there's middle ones that like support it, and I felt my foot pop loose, and I was like, oh no, oh no.
Whoopsie. And he looks at the people across from him. He's like, sorry guys.
So I had one kid. His name's Sabo. He goes by Sabo, and then I had another kid's dad, and I must have just hit him with the full spread of my wingspan.
I swear, this
Shoulder-
man was falling like this, went horizontal to hit them both. Because I saw this. I saw Luke just kill 2 people. Like, I'm falling. I'm like, oh, great.
Here we go. And we all start, and I think the kid who was sitting right in front of me came with too. So we were all just, we're going for a swim here in the class 4,
Yeah.
class
And right
5.
after this, look what Devin tells me.
Well, okay, so let me explain. So we're sitting there. The only 3 people are left are me, my dad, which was like I was all the way in the back on the left side. My
He
dad
was right behind me.
second from the back on the
So
right
third.
side, and then there was the chick who was the guide leader's girlfriend, and we think she might have been like training to be a guide or something.
We
But she
don't
was
really
there
know.
for the 8th
Not
person,
sure.
and she was sitting right to the right of me, so she was on the right on the back side. So we hit this rock, and I pop, and knowing what I know about rafting, I know my first problem is going to after I realize I'm good, I realize the people above me, because we're sitting on the top, are going to fall and hit me. So my first instinct was look to my dad and that chick to see if I can stop them and save them instead of killing me. I look to my right, neither of them move. I'm like, huh. I look to my left, which is my second, and I'm like, my second person savior. I see Jacob falling, and I just literally see him like, right after he got off the raft, his back is like flat,
Jesus,
with the
take
raft.
the wheel pose.
And and he's just like,
All right, whatever
I'm like,
happens, happens.
It's like in slow motion. I'm like, dang, and he just falls, and I'm like, I feel bad because like I could have saved him. If I looked there first, I could have
you
grabbed
were good.
him, held him on, and kept. But obviously, I looked to my top because I guess I was kind of hoping some of them would fall, so then I would save someone. But neither of them did. I'm like, all right. Ooh.
He's gone.
You know how amazing it would have been if you made eye contact with Devin instead of looking at Luke? Just
Yeah.
like, Devin!
No. It was the worst experience too, because I landed and there's like I can see the sun, everything. I'm kind of like a foot underwater. I can see the sun.
Yeah.
Dark. I'm like, oh, boat hit me. I'm like, great. I swear, I go under probably like 4 foot. I'm like scraping stuff. I kind of see this bruise on my shin.
It's from some rocks.
Yeah, that feels amazing. Got a bruise. I'm scraping through rocks, and then I'm like, all right. I kind of push off the ground. I go up. I bang my head on the boat. And I'm like, great.
Oh, so you're traveling under it.
Yeah, I'm under the
That's
boat.
the worst.
And I'm like,
That's
all
a
right, I
bad
just got to pick a
spot.
direction to swim. Hopefully I'm going backwards, but I realized that I was
Right.
actually going forward with the current with the boat. So I'm fighting against it.
Yeah.
And then I hit a rock. This is when it got me bad. Like when I started kind of panicking a little bit. Hit a rock that's like slanted like this, very smooth. So I start sliding up this rock because my hands were on it, but my whole body starts sliding up this rock until my head gets to the tip of the rock, which gets pinched in by the boat. And then the boat just squishes my whole body into the rock.
That's
I lose
pretty
all my breath. I'm like,
Oh,
this is bad. This is
Well, at least
pretty fun.
when you hit the boat, you know you're close to the
Yeah,
top,
I
and that
know
rock's
I'm
going
close.
up. So all you have to do is wait for the boat.
But I'm going through all this rapids at this point. Well, instead of waiting for the boat, I like rolled out.
Yeah.
So I
mean-
kind of was still with the boat, and then I popped out of the side of the boat. And oh my lord, bro, that was one of the best breaths of air I've ever had in my whole life. I popped through. I'm like,
woo!
Yeah, Sherm was like, I could see he was like flustered when he got up. Like, bro, I got like banana splitted. Like, I just like squished out of there. I was like, that's not good. And I was like, oh, dang, all right. But then 5 minutes later, I was like, no, that was fun. Looking back now, that was fun.
for the like, I was jelly. Like my legs were jelly. And my hands were kind of like tingly and numb. I'm like, I don't want to ever do anything like that
before.
again. And then I get
Who
like,
knows?
then I get like 3 minutes later. I'm like, I'll do that again.
That was fun.
The
Yeah, it
funny-
was fun. Even
I mean,
you fall
yeah,
out, and it's like,
The
okay,
fun part
you gotta
is looking
swim
back,
now.
like, I just did something really cool.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it
survived.
It definitely matched my The first year I went, when I flipped onto Greyhound, probably matched that.
Yeah.
The worst part was I pop up and I see the boat and I reach in and I grab the boat and then I look to my right and Sabo's out of the boat and he's like really getting like pushed away by the current. And Devin reaches out his paddle for me. I'm like, oh god. So I like all my energy. I grab him, grab the paddle. Devin pulls us both in, and then we're like, all right. We're
Yeah,
missing
I lost
two
my
now.
paddle on this because I eventually I was like, I'm trying to swim with this paddle. I'm like, we're giving up on the paddle. we dropped the paddle.
Oh, I think I threw the paddle. I was coming. I was like, zing.
Yeah, I was kind of mad that that whole trip I
Didn't get thrown out.
No, I didn't
You
get
should have
thrown
just fallen out.
It would be kind of
Cola Red, just kind of like, I fell out.
Yeah, take on the mindset Jacob did. Like, well, maybe I'll just
Yeah.
Not die.
make it cool. If you're on, if I mean, a guy with my stature, if I was on Luke's side and I got tipped like this, I'd honestly just might boost I might just jump out, like boost, like see how far I can go.
Then you're definitely laying on the rocks.
Yeah, you probably
That's what
would.
the helmet's for.
That's
The helmet,
Your stomach
the
is
helmet
hard.
helps a little bit, but when you're getting pressed like this, it doesn't do that much.
Hey man. Well,
Say-
maybe if I jump high enough, I'll land on the boat.
you say my only ever concern
cool that
is
would be?
falling out on the rapids that have all the undercuts on both sides, and you have to
Yeah.
try to swim in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is very much against all your instinct is to swim towards a bank. But there, if you swim towards a bank, you're gonna get fucking sucked underneath these
The bank-
rocks, and you're gonna die.
Yeah, the bank is always the fastest part of any body of water. You want to
Because it's so narrow.
If you
Not
want
but all
really.
these rocks sit in
every
here like
time.
this.
every time.
No, because there's eddies on these rapids.
Oh, okay.
Which are eddies are complete dead zones of still water. So like every other rapid,
No,
either
it's opposite. It's water flowing back to the rapid. So like that's why if you get in the eddies,
but
you'll
it's-
get caught in that.
It's almost
right.
like a comparable. It's pretty much still water compared to.
there,
like,
there are some eddies that
yeah,
are like
that are
still
pretty
You
water.
still
much
want to
still
stay
water.
in the middle as best you can. As long
No,
as
there's
As long as you can
They
swim,
give you
you can swim
specific
through.
instructions. They're like either come back to the raft or on this one you want to swim directly to the right immediately, and you'll get in like a still water eddy.
Or
and
what
it'll
did
be fine.
Colin say yesterday? Or yesterday, something swimming down the middle or whatever.
Yeah, he's like
was it,
don't dilly diddle, swim down the middle.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He kept saying that. But the second I fall into the boat, I'm like, all right, where was I supposed to go?
I don't remember.
Up, yeah.
Boat.
I can't believe that thought even crossed my mind. I was like, all right, I got the boat.
Step one, complete.
Check that off the list.
Check, found boat. What do I need now?
Air.
That'd be important.
Devin's dad kept joking with us. He's like, guys, you don't understand. I cannot breathe underwater.
That's a joke from like their senior trip in high school, which was really
Oh.
funny.
So it's just funny listening to say that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
But I'm just happy I didn't smash my nose in that rock.
yeah.
Kind of got the side of my head.
Anything else would be a cool battle scar, but the nose is a no-go zone.
I don't
nope.
wanna break
It's
my
not
nose.
fun.
This looks cool. Then my triceps a little puffy. I don't think I have a discoloration, but it hurts when I touch it. So.
Jacob just wants to flex.
Yeah, I was about to say the same
Dude, I'm not
thing.
even flexing, bro.
I'm not even selecting. But fortunately, you were still able to get out of the water a lot because there were a few rapids where you could body it or swim through it.
Yeah, swim it.
And those I thought were really
That's
fun.
a lot of
Those
fun.
were
Because the instructor would always tell you, if like, all right, if any of you guys got an adrenaline junkie, you want to get a little bit of rush. If you hit this spot exactly, you'll get sucked under for about 10 seconds. Which, when you're underwater, they always say you cut it. Whenever someone says they're underwater, the rule of thumb is you cut it in a fifth.
Yeah.
So if they say they're underwater for 20 seconds, it was probably more like 4. So he said you'll be sucked under for a legit like 10 seconds, which is a long time.
like a minute.
So it'll feel like a minute. It'll feel like forever.
Yeah.
And they're real hard spots to hit. So the first one, he said, was like right in the middle, like right
This
after
one's
this.
called the elevator because it brings it down.
Yeah, it was like right after this little bulge. If you hit this, you'll get sucked under, whatever. I'm like, all right, I'm hitting this. I hopped out. A few other guys did too. Some people stayed on the
I
raft.
think almost everyone hopped out except your dad
Yeah, yeah,
and Colin's
But
girlfriend.
me and
Yeah,
Devin
and
both
maybe
said the
Mark,
same
but-
thing. We're like, all right, it's right there.
yeah. It was like when we were on the boat, we're like, it's right there, right there. We get off. We're getting in the water and we're actually getting close. We're like, wait, where was it?
Yeah.
Like,
And then
we're
your
not,
water
it,
level,
just
so you don't have the
disappeared.
height.
Oh,
And like
yeah.
we'd have no idea where it was. So the first time I did not hit it, but I hit something else. I hit a wave where it was going down and it pushed water, but obviously water has to come back over top. So I got stuck in that cycle for, again, like it felt like 10 seconds, but it's probably more like 3. Where I got there, I sat under and I felt the water from the current rushing down, but also on the other side. So I was like getting
Backsplash.
pinned, like hold down, like, oh no. But then like 3 seconds later I popped out and I kept going forward. I'm like, I hit something. It was fun. But
It's not what you were going for.
No.
Dude, I got stuck in like, I swear, like an above water current. I couldn't even go under. They literally just like, I got through that thing. I was passing people left and right. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
slid
happened to
right
me too. I was like in the back, and then I was in the front.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's such a cool experience though when that water, because we were probably going
Fast.
I mean, that water was
10 mile an
moving
hour,
like 10,
maybe
15.
12 mile an hour, which feels fast when you're in water.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're not in a vehicle, that it is
feel
fast.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That's hauling.
And you're just laying there. You're kind of just laying like this, laying in your life jacket, just boom, pin needling right through the water.
Just kind of let you roll through it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Now me and Devin
Voluntary
had,
swimming
me and
is-
Devin had a better experience on the other one that we got the ride through because we both kind of. They said if you go like 3 foot to the right of this rock.
No,
there's-
you had to go like right because I went
Yeah.
like 3 foot to the right.
You have to
Well,
go
I'm saying
like
they
right
said-
next to
they
it.
said
Like you have to
3
basically
foot, but-
roll over the
Yeah.
corner of this rock.
It was right next to it. There's like a two
I
rocks
saw
sitting
it.
like this. So there's like a S current that scrapes by both those rocks, and if you sit in it, it like shoots you through pretty quick.
and you'll like go under for a little bit. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to this rock, like not rubbing it, but like real close to it. And I go and I go through it, and I just go through it like normal. But I look to my left and I see it because it's like no white water. It's clear, and it's like a current that goes and it like disappears underwater almost. And I was like, oh, I missed it.
That's
bro.
what we were looking for.
That's what we were looking for. Like,
But
and you had
me,
to like scrape.
I let Devin go first.
Yeah.
So I was like, I bet. And I kind of see it. I don't think I got it perfectly, but I feel like I got through pretty quick because I actually got the S, like shot me into the other rock. So, I mean, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was fun being able to just body them. I wish we could body a lot more.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we probably won't
That'd be
good.
dangerous. Some of them would be a little
Yeah.
more dangerous than these like class 2 rapids.
Yeah.
Dude, me, I want to put on like my football girdle, shoulder pads, helmet, knee pads, all the whole jazz. Getting a big hamster ball.
are you gonna pancake the river?
No, listen, getting a hamster ball and just roll through all these bad boys.
Because you like
I'll do
couldn't
it with you.
sink.
I'll do it with you. A different hamster ball. We'll race.
You couldn't sink, so the only problem would be like hitting rocks, because there are a lot of rocks at the surface. And
You
if
have to
get
like
jolted,
jump above it so that the impact of the rock on the ball.
But if
would
you have a bunch of
crush your
football
leg.
gear on, then you could just like
That's
be
true.
ready
Yeah.
for that rock
Shoulder
and
it, yeah.
just body
Get
that
rocked.
rock.
Bet,
would
so
hurt.
we're gonna race.
So you just keep turning over and over.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
over and,
and you
over
just
get
cruise
nauseous.
right through it and be so fun.
The only bad part is that you have like legit no control of where you're going, like at all. If you get stuck, you're probably done. Like
Well,
you
some-
could probably kind of push off, but not much.
If you have zero, yeah, at some point you'll either end up on a calm bank or the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
At that
Probably-
point, you can roll. yourself to
Actually,
shore.
ironically enough, the new river flows south to north. Actually, one of the only few
You'll end
rivers
up
in the world. You will eventually end up in the
Mississippi?
Ohio, then the Mississippi,
Mississippi,
and then the Gulf of
So
Mexico.
you end up in the Gulf of Mexico, which would end up in the Atlantic.
Yep.
you would actually end
but
up
but
dead.
you'd be dead before you got to the Atlantic. So
You
Well,
definitely need a
pack
knife,
food.
and you'd
you
probably
maybe
just
you
have
could
to
hang
cut
out in the
that hamster
Caribbean
ball
for a
open.
Well, you
while.
got in there somehow.
Visit like Saint Martin and
Yeah.
what's those other Saint Islands down there? There's a bunch of them down there.
Like in the Caribbean?
Yeah, in the Caribbean.
Like
It's like
Tortuga?
yeah, you go to
You guys know that's a real
Tortuga,
place?
Saint Martin,
Barbados, Tortuga.
Yeah. Tortuga, like the big
The turtle.
the pirate port from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Legit real place.
Well, Tortuga was like a pirate haven back in the day,
Yeah.
and it was like an actual empire, basically, of pirates.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's like an
Fun times.
unreachable
It was an
island,
awesome- it
well
was-
defended by.
Well, it was a terrible era, but it was it's awesome to like think about. Like that was an actual thing,
Yeah.
minus the like magic part of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like, it existed. It's pretty neat.
Who said that one didn't? The magic didn't exist, bro.
Do we have anything else about the whitewater rafting trip that you guys can remember? Because we got to wrap it up here.
That's about
Um,
all I got,
I
bro.
think so. Everything
There's-
else was pretty normal. We went through. Well, we still did a lot of fun things. We got.
We really got to hurry this up.
So like by the end, like what was fun was we got King of the Hill, where the guys also would flip the raft. They did a full-on backflip long ways. They flipped it, and then we flipped
we
it
did
over,
that.
and we got on the back. And the funnest thing was, like, no one else was doing this. Everyone was looking at us. We were sitting up there playing King of the Hill, tackling each other off the raft, pushing each other or whatever, doing backflips and front flips off the raft. It was
Everyone
still
gets their
a
like 10
great
seconds
time.
of fame where you're like the only one up there, like
Yeah,
trying to crawl.
yeah.
You're looking at all the other people watching. You're like, I am the king,
Yeah.
the king of this hill.
Yeah.
And then Jenna, the raft guide, she's like, "All right, now get it turned over. We gotta go.
Yeah.
I taught you guys how to do it. Let's go."
Yep.
This was
That's
funny.
the name of
We
their-
had one of the scouts come up, and the cord was slacked. So like it's tight in the middle, but it's slacked here. So he's pulling on it, trying to flip it, and the slack lets go. Boom! He just
falls
he goes
off.
straight backwards, falls
He
off.
doesn't flip the raft, but
Oh.
yeah, it was funny. Everything
Very
else went
funny.
smoothly. We ended. It was a great day.
Fun
And
times.
then
The bus ride home 10 times scarier than the bus ride there.
Because it's
just-
all gravel.
We switched drivers too, and I thought John was bad when we got Kenny, bro. Oh my.
He's one of those guys that backed it up over the cliff and then backed up like over the cliff, then went.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Kenny, or the funny part about the bus, is when you get on, like they pass out, beers
Coolers.
to all the
Adults.
and then all the kids get like Minute Maid lemonades and pops and whatnot. And I was yelling in the back, I'm like, someone make sure Kenny doesn't have a beer. I swear to God.
No, then after you get your first one, the guy will be like, "You want a 1 or a 5? 1 through 5
class 1 or class 5 rapid," and everyone's like,
Just give me a 5. He takes beers out of the cooler, shakes them up real good, and then tosses them back. So when you open it, it's nice and foamy.
Yeah.
So I open it up, and I just start blowing suds on all the kids.
Yeah, it was
That
funny.
was
He was
funny.
going up. He's like, "Anyone gonna beat the record? 6 beers is the record." And we're like, "How long's the drive?" And he's like, 10 minutes.
I'm like,
oh my God.
Maybe if I had 6 like warmed up, I might be able to try, but like I would have to have 3 in one hand and 3 on the way back, and they would have to be like seltzers or something. But
Luke's 21, by the way. Guys.
yeah,
Luke is 21. We
know
celebrated
if
his
we-
birthday a couple weeks ago.
about a
I
month
feel
ago.
like we said your birthday.
Yeah, we probably talked
Probably
about
didn't
it.
say it was your 21st.
Well, yeah, it was my birthday.
Yeah, ever since he turned 21, he's been getting a lot of experience. So,
Lots of experience drinking
yeah.
Yeah.
in the last month. So
But yeah, I mean, you guys just want to keep going, or we should probably wrap it up?
we probably should wrap it up.
Before we know, we're gonna see the camera turn off. I'm like, oh, that was
Oh,
another
no.
minutes.
Another segment.
All right.
Because we kind of got to
So-
play
We
some.
still got some stuff to
yeah.
do.
Plug us, Luke.
I was gonna say, I want to thank you guys so much for listening. This episode of Speaking Sporadically. Make sure to check the socials: Instagram at speaking_sporadically, TikTok at speaking sporadically. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like, share it with your friends, do all that jazz. We appreciate you guys so much.
If you guys are still here too, like very end of the video, you're awesome. We love you.
We love you guys. We love and support you.
Yeah.
And if you want to be on the pod, make sure to DM us.
And we'll
We'd love
see
to
if
have
we
some
can.
new guests in here.
We need to get back on the guest grind, and
Yeah.
also we also got to. Actually, we never said that idea on the pod. I don't think I think we got a new idea coming that we tried. Oh, we didn't even talk about that story.
We'll get
I
it.
was
in.
trying to
we'll
find a
get
good
it
view.
next.
We'll get it next
We
time.
probably won't
We'll write it
remember.
down.
We probably
Yeah,
we'll write it
write
down.
that down.
maybe
We'll
we'll
write
write
it
it
down.
down so we actually don't
Write that
forget.
down.
You guys are awesome. See you next week.
Peace.
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 Love you guys.
Stop it.
Yes.